My name is Danielle Kerins. I graduated from All Hallows in 2008. In the absence of the ability to physically meet on campus to celebrate Jubilee 2020, a series of audio recordings and video interviews have been created for alumni to enjoy from the comfort and safety of your home. Whilst the quality is not always perfect, we hope you agree that the spirit makes amends. 2020 marks a significant year in the history of All Hallows, as we also celebrate the class of 1995, who are celebrating 25 years in their career or lay ministry. And so, this collection of multimedia also aims to represent this timeline in the legacy of All Hallows. Enjoy. Thank you.
I went to All Hallows in 1975, one of a long tradition of Newfoundland fellows going to Ireland to study for the priesthood, which began when some of our early bishops were Irish, and they sent men back to Ireland to study for the priesthood, to be formed properly, I suppose, in Ireland. I was ordained in 1980 with six others. And at our 25th anniversary, we were all still in the priesthood. But life here has been good over the past 40 years. I've been in a number of the parishes in our diocese. But at the present time, I'm retired from parish work and chaplain at St. Patrick's Mercy Home.
You spent 10 years teaching and decided then to study to be a priest and leave lay life. What was your, whilst you're in All Hallows and training, and I'm sure you had lots of questions, but who would have been the most inspirational mentor that you came across in All Hallows?
The Vincentian priest, Father Kevin Scallon. Kevin was one of the spiritual directors that were available. I guess all of the priests on the staff were, if people wanted to go and talk to them. But I spent most of my time with Kevin. When the going was good, I probably didn't go near him very much. But when things got difficult, or I couldn't figure out, or trying to wonder what I was at here, well, I'd head off to Kevin, and after a while, he'd sort me out, and we'd be all right again for another while.
I think that mentoring continued very much in the ethos of All Hallows through various other staff members for anybody who went there. Who would be your favourite theologian or author or philosopher that you enjoy their readings or their theories?
Well, I can say I wasn't very much into that kind of work and reading, but at the present time, I find the writings of Pope Francis very good, because I find they're simple and written for ordinary people. I think sometimes we have people writing that most of our people don't understand what it's about, but I find his writings are down to earth and easy to follow and understand.
When you left All Hallows and you think back in your career, which of your appointments would you say you felt you were brought most to life?
I think maybe, like a good many, the first place where you're parish priest is probably the one that stands out. I was 3 years in a parish with 3 or 4 other priests, but then I became a parish priest myself and was in St. Joseph's Parish, Lameline, which is 5 hours drive from our city. It's a kind of at the end of the line in the diocese. It was comprised of 5 different communities. 3 were totally Catholic with their own church. The other 2 were larger towns, but maybe in each of them a small Catholic community. We rented the Anglican church for our Mass on Saturday evening for those people. But I found life there interesting, and I enjoyed it, as I did all the parishes I was in.
What do you think you used most from All Hallows in your career? What do you think you took and applied in everyday life in your ministry?
That kind of, I think, was always a mystery to me, how going there and living with a religious community could prepare us as well as it did for life back home here in a totally different situation. I'm not sure how it happened or how they did it, but it seemed to have worked well for all of us. There's a number of us in this diocese who studied in All Hallows, and I think for me it was the ability to be adaptable, to apply yourself wherever you were, and realizing, of course, and knowing the parish life situation that you were going to be in, not going into something that you hadn't thought about or looked at or figured out before you went. It was still a part of the mystery, I think.
There's something about an approach that you would have applied to your first ever appointment and the impact that you made in that time and why it stands out to you. Can you tell me a bit more about that?
I think while it was a distant parish from the city, that I was able to live among the people, even though I was living on my own in a house, about a great big house that had been built with the hope of a religious community coming there. But I was there alone, and I was able to just be a part of the community and live life and minister there among the people. I presume it all was part of the preparation.
Where do you feel the future of faith formation lies in today's society?
I think it's a great struggle and a great problem for a lot of our parishes. Our young people here, particularly, we had the Catholic school system, but in the past number of years that has gone, and now it's left mostly to parents to try to pass on the faith. And I think because probably of weakness in the latter years of their school system and religion formation, they didn't feel very well prepared to do that. And I think that was the struggle for everybody. So the parishes then tried to, with the direction of the priest and other people who are prepared to help teach the children. But I think we're probably going to be better off if we look at doing work with the parents, rather putting effort and resources there. I don't know how that will be done. It's all right for me to say that now. I'm not in parish work anymore, but it seems that would be where the greater need is probably.
Thank you very, very much. Do you have any stories or anything funny to tell, anything interesting that stands out in your mind from your time in All Hallows that you'd like to share with us?
Oh, well, I'm not sure. We had great times and difficult times, mind you, at times with, I think, the enormity of trying to figure out the vocation, the call, and if it was there, and then the lighter times, the good times, the friendships, and all. And of course, the thing that we were always amazed at, once we left, many of the fellows that we studied with, we'd never see them again. We were coming home, and they were going away from their home, which caused us sometimes, I think, maybe to feel sad for them. And you know, it was fine for us. We were coming home, but I'm sure, you know, many of them did well where they went, as many of our fellows did here. But there were lots of great days and times at the same time.
You should have been celebrating your 40th Jubilee this July.
Yes,
Were you planning on traveling to All Hallows for the event?
I was. Well, I made plans, but I had hoped to do that.
Will we see you next year?
Hopefully, we're
Great.
not sure. We'll have to see how things go. Like all the fellows, we're getting older.
Well, we'll hold out hope, and hopefully I will see you, Ed, next year, and hopefully get to shake your hand and celebrate Jubilee with you next year.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ed.